Hi there, Sandy Giroux here from Wow Place International, where we help you turn your workplace into a wow place. I'd like to ask you a question. How do you answer the question that often comes up in job interviews and performance reviews? What is your biggest weakness? The very question creates fear and worry in people's minds long before an interview or performance review is even scheduled. It's even more worrisome than the question, tell me of a time when you had to overcome a challenge and whether you succeeded or failed. Well, that's because this question refers to a one-time event and is more easily answered because, you experienced it, you overcame it, or at least learned from it, and then you put it behind you. But the question of your biggest weakness implies an ongoing challenge that you need to work on, not just once, but continually. And this is a very common question that you need to know how to answer. Of course, we all know that we have areas that we need to work on. Everyone does. But how you answer this question and your body language while doing it could determine the difference between success and failure in the interview situation. You see, the temptation when answering any question is to begin your answer with the format and phrasing of the question. So the question, what is your biggest weakness, is usually answered by, my biggest weakness is, and then you go on to list the weakness or weaknesses that you possess. But when you answer this way, it causes you to dwell on how you're weak in that area. Point out just how weak you are and how much better others are than you. So please don't phrase your answer this way. Don't say, my biggest weakness is. Instead, say something like, I'm always on the lookout for ways to improve my whatever skills, negotiation skills, for example, or my delegation skills. Once you begin like this, in a positive way, then you can add a story of how this skill is something you use on a regular basis and how looking for ways to improve is actually beneficial rather than a weakness. One focuses on the negative, the other focuses on the positive. There are several reasons for this. The first being that when you even just say the words, my biggest weakness is, it changes your entire demeanor because your focus is on something that may embarrass you or at the very least be something you don't like to talk about. Who wants to talk about their weaknesses? So when you speak from a place of weakness, everything comes out in a different way than when you come from a place of learning and continuous improvement. For example, let's look at the case of a friend of my husband's and mine who's a programmer. You don't even have to ask him what his biggest weakness is. He just offers information because he thinks that he's not a very good coder. Why? I have no idea, because he's actually an excellent coder and has accomplished many complex programs for his clients. But listen to the way he describes his coding skills as a weakness. And then I'll show you how he could say almost exactly the same thing, but by phrasing it in a different way and turning it into a beneficial mindset, make it much more positive. He currently says, I'm not a very good coder. There are so many people who are better than I am. I look at their code and see how much better it is. Sometimes I don't even understand what they're doing, and I have to study it really hard to even be able to use any of it. I hope you paid attention to the body language, phrasing, gestures, etc. I used when I talked like that. That's what he does too. But if you ask him, he doesn't even realize he's doing it. In fact, when I talked to him about this article, he said, I don't do that. Yes, he does. But he just didn't realize it before because he never thought about it. But he will now. Now, look at how you can change everything about that message by just phrasing a few things differently and by starting from the mindset of continual improvement, which everybody should be doing rather than coming from an apparent mindset of weakness or incompetence. You could say, I'm always looking for ways to improve my coding. There are so many smart coders out there who are doing creative things and sharing their work. I love looking at their code to see what they're doing. And even if I don't understand what they're doing right away, I study it so I can understand it and use it in my own clients' projects. Wow. I think you probably recognize the difference between focusing on those actions from a position of weakness versus from a position of continually learning how to do what you do well already even better. So the next time someone asks you about your greatest weakness, flip your thought process and your words to a place of continuous improvement and the recognition that everyone can improve in something, no matter how good they already are. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, and if you'd like more tips to help you succeed, subscribe to my blog at www.wowplace.com. Also, if you'd like to learn how to create a powerful tool that will help you demonstrate your full value and help you get better raises, promotions, and job offers, please check out my new self-paced online course, The Power of Using a Skills Portfolio. The link to more information and the course outline is below this video. Thank you for joining me today. I'll see you next time right here at the Wow Place.